In this lesson, we will discuss the different types of expenditures that are used to pay for the different costs associated with various cloud computing services. There are two main categories of expenditures: capital expenditures, or CapEx, and operating expenditures, or OpEx. And it's crucial to understand the difference between them. First, we have capital expenditures, or CapEx. Capital expenditures refer to expenses incurred by a company for the acquisition of a long-term asset such as land, buildings, equipment, and technology that are expected to have a useful life of more than 1 year at least. In the context of cloud computing, this may include costs associated with purchasing hardware or software that is used to access cloud services, or costs associated with upgrading existing infrastructure to support cloud computing. Capital expenditures in the cloud can also include costs associated with building a private cloud, or costs associated with purchasing cloud services from a third-party provider. The purpose of CapEx is to improve the company's operations and grow its business. For example, our company at Dion Training would have capital expenditure if we wanted to purchase new software or hardware for our offices to build our own data center to host private cloud operations. Operational expenditures, or OpEx, on the other hand, refer to the costs incurred by a company doing its day-to-day operations. These are ongoing expenses that are incurred to maintain the company's current level of operation. For example, salaries, rent, utilities, and marketing expenses, these are all examples of operational expenditures. In the context of cloud computing, operating expenditures may include costs associated with using cloud services such as storage, computing, and data transfer costs. Operating expenditures in the cloud can also include costs associated with managing and maintaining cloud infrastructure, as well as the costs associated with training employees to use such infrastructure. For example, here at Dion Training, we use a lot of on-demand serverless cloud computing resources, and those are almost exclusively considered operational expenditures, or OpEx. When utilizing a cloud service provider, an organization can realistically expect to incur both OpEx and CapEx expenses. For example, the company might choose to use a cloud-based storage solution to store its data. This service will be an ongoing OpEx expense, as the company will be required to pay a monthly or annual fee for the use of the storage solution. However, if Dion Training decided to invest in a cloud-based infrastructure solution, such as a virtual private cloud, this would be a CapEx expense, as the company would be acquiring a long-term asset to support its business operations. In general, you will find that most cloud costs are going to be classified as OpEx. This is because many companies prefer to use pay-as-you-go model with cloud computing resources, so this allows them to avoid large capital expenditures and instead pay for cloud services on a monthly or yearly basis. By migrating to the cloud, organizations have a significant change in the way they approach technology investment. In traditional IT infrastructure, investments in hardware and software were capital expenditures, which required upfront costs and long-term commitments. In contrast, cloud computing operates on a pay-as-you-go model, where costs are treated as operating expenditures and are paid for on a regular basis depending on the usage. Now, this shift from CapEx to OpEx allows organizations to be more flexible and agile in their technology investments, as they can easily scale up or down based on the changing business needs without a large upfront cost. Additionally, cloud providers often handle a lot of the maintenance and upgrades, pretty much 100% of them, furthermore reducing the burden of the organization and allowing them to focus on their core business. So remember, capital expenditures and operational expenditures are two distinct types of expenses that businesses incur. Capital expenditures refer to the expenses incurred for the acquisition of long-term assets, while operational expenditures refer to the ongoing costs associated with maintaining a company's current level of operation. It is important to understand the difference between capital expenditures and operational expenditures to make informed decisions about investments and expenditures. While both types of expenses are essential for the success of a business, each has its own unique benefits and drawbacks. The company must balance the costs against the benefits to determine the best course of action for them. Ultimately, a clear understanding of capital expenditures and operational expenditures is crucial for the long-term success of any business and should be a consideration when making any financial decision.